the mic.
Get on the mic.
Just get on the mic. Get on the mic, Mike.
Hey everybody, what's going on? Welcome to Get on the Mic. That's where you put me in front of a microphone with a few notes and I talk about some of the more interesting things that have happened throughout the world of entertainment this week or whatever else I feel like talking about. Before I begin, I wanted to let you guys know that for this program and probably next week's program, they might be a little shorter. I still want to bring you guys the program, but time is a little tight these next couple of weeks, so it's going to be hard to have as much time as I usually have to be able to research and gather all the stories and everything. And plus, this week, honestly, the news stories are a little light, but I do still have some things to talk about. And again, I still want to bring you guys the program because I'm not going to miss out. This is one of my favorite things that I do. This week, we're going to be having one big story and then some quick hits. The one big story we're going to be talking about this week, in honor of Deadpool coming out this weekend, Ryan Reynolds talks about X-Force, the movie. Look, Deadpool 2 will be a massive hit this weekend, and fans will probably love it. But even Ryan Reynolds has said that, excuse me, there are no immediate plans for a Deadpool 3. He's even come out and said at times that it may not even ever happen at all. We do know that Deadpool is going to appear in the movie X-Force, which also stars... Nope, not going to spoil that one for those that haven't seen Deadpool 2 yet. And trust me, if I were to say who's in it, it would definitely spoil it. Not much is known about X-Force, except what those of us that have seen Deadpool 2 know anyway. We do know that Drew Goddard is directing it. He is the writer of The Martian, Cabin in the Woods, and World War Z. It's not his directorial debut. I think he's directing one other movie before this. Reynolds sat down with Collider to talk to them about X-Force the movie and why it's not just going to be another Deadpool film. Quote, "I just want to work with Drew. I mean, I love him and he has such an interesting take on where he wants to take that world. I see it being a real ensemble on a lot of levels just because I think it's interesting for Deadpool to kind of function in the way he does in his own universe. You always get to sort of find some way to position him as the underdog or take everything away from him, but for him to function in an ensemble in X-Force is a lot of fun. I think there's a real opportunity to not burden the narrative by shattering Wade's life, so then at the beginning of our movie, you get to have him just be a part of the team, which is obviously a very challenging prospect for someone like Wade Wilson. So I'm really excited about that. I'm excited about a couple new characters that we're talking about, and I'm really especially excited to work with Drew. He's just amazing. We do know that X-Force is probably still a long way off. I mean, crying out loud, Deadpool 2 is just coming out preview night today. Reynolds did comment on that as well. He said, quote, "There's a storyline that everyone's happy with, but there isn't a script yet. That's yet to come." So that's really not a surprise either. They probably didn't want to even reveal, even if they do have things that they want in the movie, they're not going to reveal because, again, Deadpool 2 isn't out yet, technically. Something that may concern fans, though, is that the rating of the movie is still up in the air. And our rating is not guaranteed for the X-Force team-up movie. Reynolds had this to say about it. Quote, "It's all story first. I don't think anybody's thinking about the rating. I mean, my sort of wild guess would be that it would be a rated R movie. But again, right now we're just assembling the troops to figure out what story we would tell. And it's a ways away from shooting still, and I don't even have an idea as to the exact date. But yeah, we'll see. Story first, though." Apparently, a lot of this stuff is unknown because of the uncertainty of the Fox merger with Disney or Comcast, whichever one they decide to go with. Please go with Disney. Reynolds commented on that as well. Quote, "It really is at the moment, and maybe it's an illusion, and maybe I'm naive, but it's business as usual at Fox. I like to think that whoever buys Fox is buying it to keep intact and to allow it to be its own entity. I mean, it's a valuable asset. It's under a totally different set of rules and leadership." First of all, with that, I think they'll keep some things under Fox, but there's going to be some characters like your Fantastic Fours and Doctor Dooms and Galactuses and a few others that will definitely go under the Disney banner. But I could see, and even X-Men, but I could see the Deadpool universe and the X-Force stuff staying under the Fox banner, so to speak, even though they'll still be able to, poke fun or even have characters maybe even cross over just for jokes and things like that. That's if Disney gets it. I feel the smart move would be to keep X-Force rated R. I think it would keep some consistency in the quote-unquote Deadpool universe. Sure, they make comments about the X-Men and things like that in the Deadpool movies. But for the most part, the first two movies aren't officially connected to the other films in the X-Men series, technically. At least in ways I can talk about it anyway, having seen Deadpool 2. If they do make X-Force PG-13, though, I don't think it would be the end of the world. The characters would probably still be able to swear. Just not a ton of F-bombs. And Deadpool could make tons of jokes about it, especially when he gets to use that one F-bomb allowed in PG-13 movies. You get one, and of course Deadpool would claim it and say, yeah, I used it. It's the one, and I was going to use it. Or if someone else used it, he'd be like, hey, I wanted to use the one, or something like that. But the movies, I mean, they may not be as bloody, but they'll still have a ton of action. I mean, X-Men movies are pretty action-packed still. They wouldn't be able to be as sexual. I mean, there's a lot of things they would have to drop, but honestly, I think a lot of good humor from Deadpool could come out of it being a PG-13 movie. But then again, the success of Deadpool and the characters in Deadpool that will probably carry over to X-Force, I could see them not wanting to reinvent the wheel. I wouldn't want to. I don't think they would, want to change things too much, because with Logan and Deadpool, they've kind of given adults and sometimes kids that some adults bring to these movies, they give them something for them, and I don't think they're going to take that away. Deadpool is right now, the adult superhero, and I don't think Fox would want to change that. And it sounded like when Disney was being asked about it, they said they can see a place for an R-rated Deadpool, and I could see them keeping X-Force like that. X-Men, unless they're involved in the X-Force Deadpool universe, whatever you want to call it, X-Men will probably go, like I said, under the Disney banner, or they'll stay under the PG-13 banner. Or if Fox was crazy, say they did sell to Comcast, they could even keep all the X-Men stuff, go R with it. I don't think they will, but I mean, they took a chance on Logan because we finally wanted to get, the Wolverine we really should get. And then, of course, they took a chance on Deadpool, and it made bank for them. I could see them after this next X-Men film, if they don't go with Disney, changing it up and maybe making it R. That New Mutants movie looks, it's probably going to be PG-13, but I mean, it looks like a horror movie, so who knows how far they're going to go with that. And then who knows where they're going to go after the Dark Phoenix movie or whatever it is they're doing, which I'm not really excited about in the X-Men universe. So who knows where they're going to go with this, but we don't have to worry about it right now. I mean, again, Deadpool comes out today. If you want to see my review of Deadpool, just look on this channel. It should be near the top near this. I've only done a few things since uploading this. So just search on my channel for Deadpool 2. I have a mostly spoiler-free. There was a couple things I said that might spoil, very minor things, but I don't spoil character reveals. I don't spoil major plot points. In the setup of the movie, where I'm given the synopsis, the things I talk about, happen pretty quick in the movie, so it's not like I'm giving away a ton. And even then, I'm not getting real detailed about it. Some people said, well, there's spoilers in there. Saying one word is a spoiler. So, some of you were cool about it and were like, well, we can understand. And, like I said, I flubbed up. I went off script, or off notes, I guess I should say, because I didn't really have a script for it about one of the things. I meant to say Deadpool got his license, but then I gave away kind of gave away what was happening in the opening credits, what it was inspired by. And, then again, I didn't give away a lot. I just kind of gave you what the style was going to be like. So, don't feel fearful that I'm spoiling the entire movie. Trust me, I'm not giving away a lot of this movie, because a lot of Deadpool 2, I would not spoil for anybody. You have to see it for yourself, especially the credit stuff. You have to see it. Two of the things that happen during the credits are probably two of the greatest things that have ever happened throughout the credits. I'm talking maybe even better than Nick Fury showing up at the end of Iron Man. Amazing. So I think especially fans of Deadpool and fans of the X-Men universe are going to love it. And I would even dare say fans of Ryan Reynolds would probably really love it. So make sure to check out Deadpool 2. I mean, you probably don't need me to tell you that anyway, to check out Deadpool 2. I will say that if you didn't like Deadpool 1, you're not going to like Deadpool 2. If you like Deadpool 1, you're going to love Deadpool 2. Let's move on to quick hits. Like I said, going to be a short program this week. First, the It Chapter 2 cast continues to come together. Andy Bean, who is mostly known for Allegiant and the TV show Here and Now, which I've never even heard of, and James Ransone, mostly known for playing Deputy So-and-so in the Sinister movies, character I kind of liked in the first one and hated in the second one, will be playing the adult versions of Stanley and Andy, respectively. They join the already named cast members, Jessica Chastain, James McAvoy, and Bill Hader, who are playing Beverly, Bill, and Richie. I expect even more casting soon, considering the filming begins this summer in Toronto. Netflix has plans to have a total of 1,000 original movies, TV shows, and other productions by the end of 2018, just as Disney, Fox, and other big companies are beginning to say bye-bye to the streaming service. 1,000. Not too bad for a company that started as we'll mail you DVDs for a low monthly cost, huh? Of course, they didn't reveal how many of these projects would be Adam Sandler movies, so the jury's still out. There are reports that the Amazon Lord of the Rings series may focus on a young Aragorn. If this is true, I'll probably still watch it, but I find this news a bit disappointing. I was hoping for something a bit more original. Netflix is reportedly splitting Season 5 of Arrested Development into 2 parts. The idea of bringing it back keeps getting better and better, doesn't it? The network Epix will be developing a 10-episode series all about the early days of Bruce Wayne's butler, Alfred. Now, before you scoff at the idea, just know that Alfred led a pretty interesting life before becoming the Wayne family employee. He was a field medic in the Army, an actor, working for MI5, amongst other activities. The series is set to premiere sometime in 2019. Solo, a Star Wars story, hasn't even been released yet, and there is already talk of a Lando Calrissian spinoff. Maybe. While doing publicity for Solo, it was reported that Lucasfilm president Kathleen Kennedy said this, quote, "We think that the next spinoff will be dedicated to Lando Calrissian. Of course, there are still many stories to tell about Han and Chewbacca, but Lando will be next," end quote. It turned out, supposedly, that this quote was from a French magazine and was not translated correctly. Look, I'm willing to bet that she just let the wampa out of the bag and is trying to play defense. How do you say "you effed up" in French? I will say that I do like the idea of a Lando movie. He is a character that hasn't gotten a lot of development time in the movies and TV shows. Did you see Deadpool on Stephen Colbert the other night? If not, you should. He takes pot shots at politics, late night TV, and the Avengers, among other things. Again, when it comes to Deadpool, I'm not going to spoil it for you. Just watch it. According to X-Men Universe head honcho Simon Kinberg, Gambit will actually film this year. Okay. Can we just wait until Disney takes over for that one, please? According to the writer of Zombieland, a sequel is being prepped for a 2019 release. Paul Wernick said that they are aiming for the 10-year anniversary of the first movie, which would be next year. He also said that they intend to have all the original cast as well. Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, Jesse Eisenberg, and Abigail Breslin. Now, do you think that Bill Murray will cameo again as an actual zombie this time? Ron Howard said that a Willow sequel could actually happen. He had this to say about it, quote, "I don't want to give away too much, but there is a little talk of Willow. We wouldn't call it Willow 2. I think it would focus a lot on Elora Danan, although Willow would have to be significantly involved. I thought about that movie a lot as I was working on Solo because there are certain scenes, especially around some of the Mad Mardigan stuff, was reminiscent of a character with that kind of swagger and bravado. And also some of the humor around some of the action in Willow was something I inspired to get into Solo," end quote. Well, I'd love to see a Willow 2. Getting Val Kilmer to be able to play Mad Mardigan again would be very difficult, given all the health issues he's had for a while. If you've seen The Snowman, you'll understand why it would be very difficult for him to play Mad Mardigan again. Now, I will say this. I would be pretty happy if they brought back one of my favorite big movie crushes of all time with the character of Saoirse, Joanne Whalley. "I love you, Saoirse. You're my moon, my sun," all that stuff he said to her after he got hit with the fairy dust. Or the brownie dust, I guess it would be. Arguably the most popular G.I. Joe character, Snake Eyes, is getting his own spin-off movie. I'm going to butcher this guy's name. Evan Spiliotopoulos, the writer of 27's Beauty and the Beast, that's a good thing, and The Huntsman Winter's War, that's a bad thing, is in talks to write the script. There is no word if this is going to connect to the other two movies, which were not so well received by a lot of people, or if it'll be part of the rumored reboot of all the Hasbro franchises. I'm going to bet on the latter. Hopefully they will bring the other G.I. Joe characters, such as Storm Shadow, to help a character that can't speak to tell the story. Just leave the RZA playing Blind Master out of it, please. That's going to end it for quick hits. As usual, give a bit of a channel update. I'm enjoying doing talking movies, which is kind of my more unscripted way of doing movie reviews. Again, I want to mention that I have a mostly spoiler-free review of Deadpool 2. Definitely check it out. I'm not spoiling the movie for you. I'm not spoiling big points for you. Everyone's afraid of jokes and things getting spoiled. I wouldn't do that to you. Even what little tiny bit I spoil, I'm not ruining anything for you. Just check it out, and then definitely check out Deadpool 2 as soon as possible. Geno's Bad at Games is continuing. There for a while I was doing a lot of shorter games, but I've started the Game of Thrones role-playing game based on the first book of the series as well as the first season of the show. Whenever I start playing it, you can kind of tell where it's fitting in. I'm about 4 chapters into that game. It's a little rough going because the controls of that game aren't great, and the battle system's taking a lot of learning. I haven't played a role-playing game in a long time, so it's taking some getting used to. I'm having a good time playing it, though. If you want updates about what I'm doing on the channel, since YouTube isn't allowing everybody to have those little text comment things that you see pop up when you're looking at the YouTube app on your phone, where people can just say, hey, here's what's going on the channel. They won't allow all of us to have that. So if you want to know what's going on the channel, and so I don't have to create a video for every single time that I do some little thing on another channel, definitely follow me on Facebook and Twitter. That's at the Reel Geno on Twitter. That's at symbol the REELGENO. And then on Facebook, it's the Reel Geno, the same spelling. That way you can follow me and kind of know what's going on, or if I'm going to do a project with Heisenerd or whatever I'm doing. If I'm working with Brad or whatever, you guys can know what I'm doing, so you don't have to, expect a video to pop up saying, hey, by the way, you should go to this channel. It's just easier for everybody if I can just post something saying, hey, check out the channel here. Here's whatever I'm doing on another channel or what I'm doing on my channel, things like that. As usual, I want to draw your attention to a few different things. The Geek Be Cubed YouTube channel. On that channel, the GB3 podcast is on a bit of a break. But it doesn't mean things aren't happening on the channel. On the channel, up right now, the Heisenerd Bill Fields and I, plus our very special guest, Mrs. Heisenerd, Danielle, took a look at the YouTube Red Show Cobra Kai, which continues the Karate Kid series in TV form. It is a very spoiler-filled review, so if you have not seen the show, I would tell you, if you are a fan of Karate Kid, see the show. It's great. We had some minor issues with it, but all in all, it's a really good series. So definitely check it out, and then come to the Geek Be Cube channel to listen to our spoiler discussion of the first season and kind of what we kind of think is going to happen in the second season. And plus, we have a little bit of news on at least one casting of a returning character coming back for season 2. Also, check out my partner in crime's channel, Heisenerd's channel. He's doing gaming live streams. I'm going to remember it this time. He's playing Dragon Warrior 4. He's been playing through that, and he does other Let's Plays. Next week, we're going to be playing a game together. Again, I don't know if we're going versus or if we're going to team up. I'm not sure what we're playing, but definitely check out his channel on Monday for that. We're going to be doing some kind of a game over on his channel. And also, he does a podcast called Heisenerd Speaks, and every now and then, he does a segment called Heisenerd Sings, where it's karaoke night over in the Heisenerd household whenever he does Heisenerd Sings. So make sure to check that out. His channel doesn't have a lot of subscribers. Definitely just give his channel a chance. If you like what you see there, give him a subscribe. Both of us are in this for, as I usually say, we're in this for a hobby. But, even if you're in this for a hobby, it's kind of disheartening to not see your channel grow. So, however the YouTube algorithm works, even when I search Heisenerd, it doesn't come up the first thing right away, even though, you're spelling it the exact same way. Other things come up. So, I just want to lead you guys to that channel. If you like it, give him a subscribe. I'd like to see his channel grow. That way he's got more eyes on him, and he loves what he does, like I love what I do, and we love working together. So anyway, if you like his channel, please give it a subscribe. As always, thank you guys so much for the support. Again, there's a lot of stuff going on these next couple weeks. Next Tuesday, I have to get up really early to travel to St. Louis to see a, let's just say, multi-million-dollar indie film called Solo. So I'll finally get to know if Alden Ehrenreich does Harrison Ford proud. We'll find out that. We'll see what kind of a Star Wars movie we're getting. We'll see if this Star Wars story stuff is, worth it. Hopefully, I'm hoping it is. I really hope that it's going to prove a lot of people wrong. My initial guess is going to be it's not going to be great, but it still might be a lot of fun. I'm afraid that a lot of it's going to be on Alden Ehrenreich's shoulders, on his performance as Han Solo, and I think a lot of people are going to expect him to live up to Harrison Ford, and that's honestly just not possible. So we'll see how well he can do, and hopefully all the surrounding characters and everything else will help out. I am looking forward to seeing young Lando. That should be fun, and of course Chewbacca's cool and all that. So I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with it. So anyway, guys, that's all this week for Get on the Mic. Again, sorry it's a little short, but like I said, life's going on and there's things I got to do. So Anyway, thank you so much for listening. As always, I appreciate it. And also, as always, if you like what you heard here, please feel free to like it, comment on it, and please subscribe to the Reel Geno on YouTube. As always, I am the Reel Geno, Ryan Reynolds. I'll see you next time. Peace.